Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy, and I'm glad to be here with you guys on Thanksgiving Eve 2020. It is the day before the big feeding frenzy fest. And as you guys all know, we're in the midst of a global pandemic right now. So it's kind of impossible for families to get together and really be around each other. And that's so sad. Who knew that we would have such a state of affairs in our world? But it is what it is. Well, tonight joining the show is lifestyle expert and etiquette expert and just one of my dear friends, honey, wine expert, mama expert. She's a fellow Scorpio, and when she and I first met, I adopted her, and really, Akila is a grown woman, but I think of her as my daughter because she and I think a lot alike on a lot of different things, and I'm just honored to have Akila Easter. She is the founder and creator of Akila City. I did that right? Correct? Yes. Aha.
Akila CT. So C and
yeah,
T.
a CT. Ladies and gentlemen, my calls tonight, amazing Akila. Hello, darling.
Hey, Art, how are you doing? Thank you so much for having me again. You know, I love when we get together. I can imagine if people could hear our offline conversations. But yes, I love being on the show. Thank you so much.
It is a pleasure. Akila, do me a favor. Tell everybody how did you start in this business? You're actually a professor. You're a very bright woman, but the lifestyle and culture is really what you are about.
Yeah. Like I fell in love with hip hop real early on, and hip hop was all about the flashiness, right? So it's like the champagne, all the money, all these diamonds, what's BBS, all these things. I was like, I don't know what these rappers are talking about. So I researched and I wanted to get to know what it was. Also, my mom dropped me off in charm school because I was such a tomboy. I'm still a tomboy, but she made me do charm school. She was like, if you want to play on the basketball team, you have to go to charm school Saturdays at 9 a.m. So that's that balance. And and you said I'm a professor, so I'm a scientist by trade. And what that does is my brain always wants to know why and how. So that's why I've always gotten into trying to understand, why do we drink wine out of this glass? You know, why is this that way? I'm very domestic too. So I know some people say that's kind of old fashioned, but I like to sew. I like to do all these quote unquote traditional things. And that's how it just got me immersed into this field.
Well, darling, we're gonna have to find you. I need a son-in-law. I need you to meet and marry somebody just as fabulous as you. I prophesized my wedding date for next year, Akila. Yes, I did on Facebook the other day. I woke up Monday morning and my spirit said to me, put it in the universe, because I've had two friends who put it in the universe and they ended up getting married. And so I said that I am getting married November 21st, 2021. So
21. Okay.
Yes. So you had to pick all the right glasses for us to drink out of.
So I'll go meditate tonight and try to manifest this man wherever he is. Because can we get into dating stories tonight?
Yeah, honey, we can get into anything. Honey, we can get into anything you want. Tonight is a night about partying. Keep in mind, tonight is known as Black Wednesday, and Black Wednesday is when everybody would normally go out. If we were not in the middle of a pandemic, bars would be packed, restaurants would be packed. This is the first time college students are coming back home to see their family and friends. And remember, you came back home with a new hairdo, or you had lost weight, or you came home with a boob thing.
What's going on? A new piercing, a tattoo.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So tonight is a party, Akila. So whatever you want to do, we can do. We are going to talk about, though, travel. Millions of Americans have taken to the sky, the train, the roadways. And so recently I did travel. I did all of the proper things that were necessary to be done to be able to travel, went to visit all doctors. But as a travel writer, I really wanted to find out what the experience would be like during this pandemic, because this may not change anytime soon.
It's a new way of life.
Right. And my heart really does go out to our people who work in this industry, the airline industry, the hospitality industry. So I'll talk
So many
about
people have been
all
laid
of that
off.
tonight. I'll talk about that. And then later on in the show, Zoom will be your Thanksgiving platform tomorrow.
Okay.
Zoom has raised their 40-minute limit. So tomorrow you guys can enjoy Zoom as much as your Wi-Fi will be able to pick up. And so, Akila, what are you going to teach us tonight?
So we're going to go over the Zoom, how to set up the Zoom. I'm balling out of control, so I have that premium account, so I don't have any limits. But I'm going to give you some ideas of how you can stay away from family while engaging with them through Thanksgiving. I know a lot of people are like, I can't believe that I can't be around family. To me, this is so calming. Like I am relaxed. I don't have to cook for everybody. I'm saving money. I don't have to clean up. I don't have to do the yawn to say get out of my house. So this is a good thing for me. And we're going to talk about we'll talk about some ways to set up Zoom and some games that you can play and still be engaged with your family while they're at their house and not yours.
Okay, good, beautiful. I love it. Well, I just said, yesterday I said, okay, I bought everything I need to prepare my meal, but here's the deal. It's me. So if I don't cook it until Friday, if I don't cook it until
Right.
whenever, oh well. So yeah, I'm with you, Akila, on that. So yeah, this will be a time for people to reflect. For those of you all that have never cooked a meal before, we're going to offer you a few suggestions tonight on things that you
Yeah.
can do. A lot of you all have not cleaned out your spice cabinet. When was the last time you cleaned out your spice cabinet, Akila?
Ooh, ooh,
Right,
don't judge me because
right.
I am a lifestyle expert. But I use like four spices, so I just make
Oh,
it work.
okay,
But yeah, it
okay.
does need to be cleaned out. Mm.
Yeah, yes, yes. So we'll talk
Those
about that as well.
expiration dates, checking those
Yes.
expiration dates. Okay,
Yeah, but see, the thing
definitely.
is, a lot of spices, people figure, oh, it's just dried oregano. But if you've
Yeah,
had it in there for 10 years, no, that is dust oregano. That's what that is. Yes,
yeah.
yes. All right.
That's called bubble guts
Yeah,
oregano. That's what.
yes, yes. It will give you the bubble thy guts. It will. Yes, it will. All right. Well, November is National Gratitude Month. And with this being the eve of Thanksgiving 2020, Keila, I kind of want to find out, even though we're in this pandemic and things have been different for everyone, what are you the most grateful for? You have a beautiful daughter, great career, but what are you most grateful for?
I'm grateful for my health. Kind of piggybacking what you said about I have a young daughter. I have a 5-year-old. I'm a single mom. So when all of the pandemic happened, I became very paranoid because if I go in the hospital, I don't have a lot of immediate family here to be able to take care of her. So we were in lockdown, cleaning mode. Everything was delivered. It stayed outside. So that's why I'm so grateful for my health. And being that I have literally have a family member who's ill right now, and so many people who have been touched by COVID. I am just grateful that I am able to continue to work, to that my daughter's healthy, that I am healthy, and that I can see that there's a possible end to this pandemic.
Yes, because, in the beginning of March, when we were told that we would be facing a lockdown, and indeed the world did lock down for a few weeks, we thought
Mhm.
that this was something that would definitely not linger on as long as this had. And, a lot of people are really now faced with a lot of anxiety and depression. I was looking at news stories this entire week and last week that was saying that mental health clinics are overworked just like hospitals are right
Yeah.
now because a lot of people are not able to just come to their wits about being alone and can't socialize and all of that.
Compound that by Chicago shutting down so many mental health facilities over the last few years. My babysitter actually works at a mental health facility, and she is sharing exactly what you said, that there's so many patients coming in suffering from severe depression because people, I don't think we realize, because think about before the pandemic, there's a lot of people who felt alone, right?
Right, right.
So this is just magnifying those feelings of loneliness and
Mhm.
don't have family. If you isolate yourself and those different types of things, you have no refuge. And then this is just making it 10 times worse. And then if you compound that depression with the different paranoia of possibly getting sick, I would not want to live within that mind right now.
No, I would not. So for anyone who is going through it, just stay encouraged. Please reach out to people, seek help if you need to. We understand, I too, even with the seasons changing, the
Yes.
weather changing, we all have seasonal depression, if I really look at it. And
These
and
chemicals are changing. Yes, your
yeah,
chemicals are changing in your body, and they're trying to adjust. And then you're in the midst of a pandemic. So
right,
definitely,
right, right.
definitely.
So
And check
everything
on
that
your people too. Check on your
yes.
people.
Check on your people. I like that. I like how you say that. All right. Well, Akila, let me give the daily COVID-19 update numbers. Illinois public health officials released on Wednesday the number of 11,387 new confirmed and probable cases. They're now saying probable of COVID-19. Unfortunately, we had 155 additional fatalities. That is a very high number. I don't think we've had a number like that in a minute. This brings the total number of infections in Illinois to 685,467, with a confirmed statewide death total now of 11,832. And that's been since the pandemic has started.
Art, that's bigger than the like almost 5 times larger than the population of the city that I grew up in.
I Unbelievable. Just
I
unbelievable.
just could not imagine.
No,
But
our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone who has lost someone to COVID-19. I do want to send a special shout out to all the healthcare workers. And I'm just not talking about the doctors and nurses. I want to shout out the janitors, the people who are receptionists, billing clerks, anybody that has had to deal with this. I'm sure this has got to be overwhelming. And so we do want to remember those people, because you're right, Akila, that's larger than a small city. You're from where? Iowa, darling? That's right. Iowa. Yes, 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 yes.
Davenport, we call it Davenport, Iowa.
Davenport. Yeah, I remember. Yes,
You
that.
say it with that
Yeah,
accent.
that quaint little place called Davenport. Yes, darling. But isn't that something? Yeah, the numbers are staggering. They are.
Yeah. I've been touched by somebody who has passed. I'm a teacher. We're doing online teaching. Our people at our job have passed from COVID. So it's everybody I think in the end of this will be 1 or 2 people removed from somebody who has been touched by COVID.
Yeah.
And I know people are dismissing the symptoms, but please understand that you can, and this is what I tell my daughter with what germs are and what a virus is. I say these are things you cannot see when somebody is sick, right? And
Right.
Art, you do that living with something that's
Yes.
chronic. You
Yes.
cannot tell when somebody is sick. So you do not know when somebody has an underlying condition. While you're concerned with wearing a mask and your rights being infringed, you have to be concerned with the neighbors around you. And that's the whole goal. That is the
Right.
whole of being a part of a society. A lot of people are
Mm.
like, well, I don't want to do that. You are a part of a society. I don't like paying taxes. I don't like stopping at all my stop signs and red lights, but I do it because I'm a part of a society and I understand the rules.
Right. Right. And that's true. Just follow the rules. And I'm going to talk about that in my travel piece this evening. I've got to give the state of Florida credit, especially Southern Florida.
Okay.
Anywhere that was a tourist attraction or someplace that people would come to, they did a great job of keeping those places spotless and clean and plenty of sanitizer. So we'll talk about all of that. We will. All right. Well, with that being said, Illinois was expecting to receive 80,000 initial doses of the COVID vaccination when it comes. And so we are hoping. Here's the deal, Akila. Are you ready to take this COVID vaccine?
Are you going to take the vaccine, Art?
I asked you first, boo. You as you sip that wine. I should have brought me something stronger than water.
This is
Right.
my vaccine. No,
Girl,
okay.
right. Hello.
Well, they have new technology with this vaccine where so a lot of people don't. I don't think a lot of people know what a vaccine is. There's a lot of a lot of misinformation is that people really do not know the science behind it. But what the vaccine does is it makes your body think that something is in that it needs to attack is there, and then your body builds up the immunity that's needed. So it'll start to build antibodies. The white blood cells will come attack, and then the white blood cells make copies of themselves, and they create memory cells. So if you run into that type of virus again, because this is a virus, not a bacteria, it's a virus. And what viruses do is they take over cells and the cells do not fully know. And the cells start functioning normally and make copies of that virus, And that's what a vaccine does, is it identifies a foreign, when your body does is identifies a foreign entity and it builds that immunity. So that vaccine is going to push that process and mimic that process. So if it's gone through FDA regulation, I give my daughter has gone through all of her vaccines. We all have gone through vaccines. If you've gone to a public school, you know it's mandated. So I trust that I will be okay with this vaccination.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't be first in line, but I will take the vaccination because I would like things to get back to normal. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I did take the flu shot, and I've been taking the flu shot for several years now. 1 or 2 days I was feeling a little yucky, but it was nothing that of concern. It was nothing that I had to take any medicine for, anything like that. And after that third day, I felt great, and I felt great ever since. So I don't know if I'm necessarily in a hurry to go get that vaccination, though. Because look, Akilah,
would you isolate yourself though? Would you?
I'm in isolation now. I'm in isolation. I have no. I'm in a 14-day isolation as we speak right now because I broke the rule, but I broke the rule for a reason. But I stayed safe and I've tested negative. You get what I'm saying? So that part of it, we just kind of roll with it. But no, I will see. I want frontline workers and people who come in jeopardy of catching it to make sure they're covered first. So we'll see.
I think there should be a tier system where, and don't forget about, people who are in poverty and things like that. Because I think we're going to be last on the ladder. And we have to make sure that we're considering everybody. It's not a social class issue, but it's who needs it first.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, thank you so much. Akilah, you are quite the professor. You was breaking that all down.
I'm sorry. I nerd out for moments, because
I love it.
People throwing this science, and this is where scientists are like probably just enraged. I'm just sitting here, and I still teach. So when I'm teaching, I've been breaking things down to my students to give them perspective. And if you're a good teacher, you can break things down into lay terms, right? So where everybody can understand it. And I credit myself to be a good teacher. So yes.
Well, amen. I credit you to be a good teacher. If I'd have known, I'd have brought you the Golden Apple Award tonight. I owe it to you. I'll make sure you get it. I promise you. All right, Akilah. Well, let's go into talking about some entertainment news. This past Sunday night at the Los Angeles Microsoft Center, there was a pandemic era kind of AMA award. Yes. Hosted by our girl Cookie Lyons, Taraji Cookie Lyons, and it was a lot of different things
about that.
And
how did Taraji? Okay, I'm not talking negative, but how did Taraji get this role? Is it because she played Cookie, or what do you think? How do you think that connection was?
Well, I think Taraji, I thought she did an okay job. She's entertaining to say it. She just, come on, this is during a pandemic, and
We went from Sierra to Taraji. Sierra, who is an artist. I'm just trying to figure out how her manager pitched this. That's what I want to know. I want to understand.
I don't know.
That she didn't do well, but I just never imagined that she would be the host.
Okay. All right. Well, Taraji P. Henson was the host. And
Respectfully.
Respectfully. Yes, she was. And there was no audience this year because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but there were a handful of cutouts in the audience, including a cutout of Beyonce, Jay-Z, Dolly Parton, Stevie Nicks, is it Roselia? Quite a few other people were stuck in the audience to kind of make it look like celebrities were there. And so, this is the new normal. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is tomorrow morning. The balloons will now be pulled by motorized cars. There will be no spectators, and the parade will be that one block in front of Macy's, and it'll be tremendous social distance, and everybody who's a part of it had to be tested, cleared, all of that. So this is our new norm now until we can get back to normal.
So who is this for then? So is it the entertainment aspect? Is it for celebrities? Is it for the audience? Because I heard ratings were low. So I'm wondering, is this just to keep a certain industry going, or what is the goal?
The real reason why a lot of this is being done is to keep tradition. Things like Charlie Brown Christmas, things
Mhm.
like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. These are things to keep traditions going. Otherwise, girl, we are living in very depressing times right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we are living in time.
Reruns. I get upset with this week of having reruns. I'm like, oh, it is a holiday week. So yeah,
Right.
I need something new. I need to be
Yes.
entertained because we
Yeah.
are locked up in this house. Mhm.
That's right. So they're trying to create ways to still keep people entertained, still recognize people, and then keep in mind the number of artists who have created songs that are all revolving around this time we're in right now.
Right.
Whether it's a bad relationship, whether it's you lost your job, whether it's you're gonna drink all night long, whatever it is,
Or
people are
whether it's body yada 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 yada. So, or is that body yada yada?
that's
Something
good.
to have fun too. Yes.
Yes, yes. All right. Well, very good. Well, let's talk about the weekend. The weekend was on the American Music Awards,
He was
and
in a car accident, apparently.
well, honey, I thought he had just had facelift surgery. I didn't know what was going. He had two black eyes, and then he had all of this stuff on him. Somebody said that it was for a drunk driving campaign.
Yeah, but he was artistic in his last appearance, I believe, too. He did something very unique as well. I can't remember what it is, but he's also tweeting today because he got a Grammy snub. So there's a lot going on with the weekend lately.
Oh,
I think
really?
mm-hmm.
I didn't realize he was from Canada. So that says a lot about he is from Canada. And that
Oh.
says a lot about his uniqueness.
What's that mean, Art?
Yeah,
What do you think about our Canadian brothers and sisters?
any Canadian brother and sister that I've had the pleasure of hanging out and knowing have
Mm-hmm.
all been just very creative people, but they've been very liberal thinking people. You know what I'm
Oh, okay.
saying? Yeah, they don't think the norm like we do.
They are way ahead of us.
They're way ahead of us.
Free healthcare, free education. All these crazy things that they say we're doing here, they've been doing it for decades. Yes.
That's right. That's right. So, I'm not surprised at all. The image that he takes is just, different to me. But I guess because he's a nice looking young man, but every time you see him, he looked like, all hell done broke loose. Like he was in a garbage can with a raccoon,
But I mean, I think I remember when Weekend. So he used to have, that unique. He's always stood out because
Right.
he had the crazy hair style initially. Then he cut it off. That was a big deal. He dated I think, who did he date? One of the celebrities, singers. So yeah, he's always trying to figure out some way to stand out.
Right.
But he doesn't like attention because he doesn't like to do interviews. That's so weird to me. You want to stand out, but you don't want people to put too much attention on you. So yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, we wish you the best the weekend. Nothing against all of our Canadian friends. Thank you. We love you guys. We want you to still. Right. That's okay. That's all right. We ain't tripping on that. Hey, we ain't tripping on that. It's Thanksgiving Eve. Well, speaking of Thanksgiving, Canada's version of Thanksgiving was last month, and they had a high rate of numbers after their Thanksgiving celebration in Canada. Mm-hmm. And so, Akila, do you think that we might have a high spread after this Thanksgiving, or do you think people?
Definitely.
Oh boy!
Have you seen the airport pictures? Have you seen how many people have been leaving and all the statistics associated with that? We are going to have a surge in January. And then I got a text message from CPS, and they're asking, "Am I sending my child back in February?" I think is when they're going to do it. And they said, "This is your final decision by December 7th. You need to make your final decision if your child is. You can't change your mind. In other words, are they going to do in person, or are they going to stay at home and continue remote learning?" And I'm like, she's going to stay remote. We're going to have a surge in January. We have 2 major holidays back to back, and people are defiant. They've been defiant this whole time. People have been defiant the entire time in the pandemic. These are the people that I do not want to be locked away in the shed with. If the world is ending, I do not want to be around y'all because y'all don't care about other people.
What have they been doing, Akila? Come on, let's kind of talk about what have people. All right,
why are they complaining? Why are they lying and saying that these stores are going to get sued because you're not letting me in because I have a disability? They're making fake disability cards to say that
why they can't wear a mask?
Yeah, you can't wear a mask all of a
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but doctors wear a mask 24/7 while they're working those full day shifts. It doesn't make the feeling of oppression where people just want to be oppressed just because they see other people oppressed is fascinating to me. And they're like, this is America. Yes, America has a CDC and it has an agency to help protect its people. And that's what America is trying to do. But if you want to be hard-headed and you're wondering why you can't go back to work, let's see the logic behind that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. It's a lot. It really, really is. Okay. All right. Anything else about the American Music Awards we want to talk about? There was some scuttlebutt about Miss Jennifer Lopez's little
And
sexy.
Beyonce, what she always does.
Okay, so now let me ask you this: are you hating on that, or are you agreeing with that? Because see, here's the deal: J Lo is an icon. She's an older icon, and really, we've seen the
J-Lo
chair.
has survived off of Black folks' entertainment. That's what she does. She can go from one side to the other, and that's what she does. What didn't she call herself a little black girl 2 months ago in a song? So she has survived off of Black culture, and that's all she does is mimic Black culture. And that's what's made her all that money. And you see how quickly she left Sean P. Diddy when he got in trouble.
Yeah, honey, gone. Do you understand me? Gone. Well, you know,
and
our
what
girl.
did his boyfriends look like after that?
That's right. Well, speaking of, our girl actress Gabourey Sidibe announced her engagement yesterday, and she wrote a beautiful statement about her fiance being, you know, her BFF, and they will get to spend time together forever. And the world was congratulating Gabourey. I mean, we're all happy that Gabby has found the man of her dreams. But I've got to play devil's advocate here. How come that couldn't have been a chocolate brother standing behind her?
I think she's talked about that before. But
Has she?
Yeah, I think she has a kind of, you know, I think you got me stuttering on this one. I think it's access. You know, a lot of, I mean, maybe that was the crowd that she was around, and that's how she fell in love with somebody. So I think, you know, when we talk about different celebrities who possibly, you know, marry somebody of a different ethnic background, I think we have to consider where they are and what is available to them, who's going to those parties, who has access to them, all those different things. So I think it's about a when and where and who.
Because it makes me wonder, have most of the brothers really treated her like she was just precious? Did most of the brothers not want to holler at her? I mean, you get what I'm saying? And I'm not sure. And this happens to all people.
I am a single woman, so I don't know what the issue. I'm a single Black woman. So I do not know. If I had that answer, I would be married and content right now. Well, if I wanted to, I don't know.
Well, I'm just starting because everywhere we turn, we're seeing nothing but interracial relationships on TVs, movies. I don't think
the numbers have increased that much. I think people are showing it more, so it seems like it's more.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Every single commercial I see now is an interracial couple because we never saw it before. It sticks out in our eye. It's like when you think about the car that you want, and then now you see that car all the time. You think everybody has this car, you know, those types of things. So I think it's just because it's all media influence. Now that we're seeing it more in media, we think that the numbers are high, but I would have to do some research to see what the numbers actually are.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Well, with that being said, Akila, do you have your mask? This is where we do our demo. Oh, beautiful. I did see it earlier. You're right. We want
to see.
Oh, so what is your
40th birthday? You said we're Scorpios.
Oh, so, yes. Well, this is from my 55th birthday.
Icon. Oh my God. I love
icon, baby. I'm an icon. So listen, we want to remind everyone to get your mask. We're in the middle of a global pandemic,
Above
coronavirus
your nose.
seasons. Yes, make sure you wear your mask, wear it above your nose, cover your mouth. It should come all the way back and fit tight. So please
Yeah.
wear your mask. It's important that you guys do wear your mask. That helps to keep our COVID numbers down. Also, sanitize, wash your hands. Soap and water is the most important. If you can get to some soap and water, if not, hand sanitizer. You got some, Akila?
Yes.
Yep,
We have it right by the door. So when we
yep,
come, we have a
yep,
routine and a regimen when we come into the house. Shoes
yes.
off immediately, coats off right there, go straight to the bathroom and wash your hands. Then I go back and I wash the door handles. I'm a little,
That's okay.
we
That's
cannot,
all right.
we cannot afford to get sick in this house. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. I get it. I understand 100%. I really do. We also want to remind you guys to social distance. It is so important that you get that 6 feet of space between you and other people that are not a part of your party. 6 feet of space. And guess what? If you're not feeling well, we're telling you to stay your ass at home. It's that easy. It's that
What
simple.
are you going to miss? What are you
Right.
so afraid of missing? I don't understand it.
You said that like, my dear. You said that like, baby, what is you gonna miss?
What are you
What?
going to miss?
Right, right. What would you miss? That's what I'm saying.
Say?
Right. Ain't nothing going on right now. Nothing.
You ain't
And,
going to
and,
miss
and if
nothing.
it is, all of y'all going to hell because it's COVID season.
You want to wear your new outfit? What is it? I'm just trying to figure out what it is where you are just, you have to get outside.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't. All right. Well, with that being said, we're now going to move over into our first segment of the evening. Akila is actually our interviewer tonight. She's going to talk to me about travel during COVID-19. And I'm going to answer all of her questions and do everything. And look, Akila, I even bought things to demo on the show. So take your time and let's get this going. All right,
Okay,
I'm ready.
so I need to know as soon as you stepped into the airport, one, was there a lot of people at the airport?
Okay, so no, there were not a lot of people at the airport the day that I departed for my trip and the day I returned back from my trip. Now, a little word of advice to anyone who is thinking about traveling during this pandemic. Try to pick flights that are days of the week that are slower days of the week anyway.
So
You would
what
want
days are
to
those are
you
from
would
your
want
airline days?
you would want to travel on a Tuesday, a Wednesday, and a Thursday, and
Okay,
possibly Sunday morning early.
okay,
Early morning flights tend to be full. If it's an early morning flight that is going to another major metropolis, let's say like New York LaGuardia, DFW in Dallas, Miami Airport, the first flight out is usually a full flight because people want to get there to start the beginning of their business day.
mhm,
Okay. So that's something you need to keep in mind. Same way with my return flight. I did a midday flight, which got me back into the city in the mid afternoon, which I avoided rush hour traffic, congestion of people in airports and
okay.
everything.
Was there
Mm.
a lot of workers there, or did you think that there was less workers there as well?
Okay, so now here's the latest deal with the airport. At Chicago Midway Airport, there are still sky caps that will check your bags curbside. But
Oh,
yes, they will check your bags curbside. But then
okay,
there are a lot of airports now that are not allowing curbside baggage check. So
okay.
here's what you've got to look at. The airline industry is being hit in just ways you would not believe because those baggage handlers are men who actually have sent their children to college
Yeah,
from tips.
right.
These are men and women who have paid mortgages that have families to support. And if there are no curbside baggage checkers, that's a job that is gone right there. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
So right, you've got to think about that. There are no, there used to be gentlemen at Midway Airport that if you were a celebrity or somebody famous, they would identify you immediately and come and make sure you were okay and welcome you to the airline, that type of thing. So that has changed quite a bit, and a lot of those jobs have been removed or replaced. Now inside checking in the ticket area, there is just people who stand there and wipe down the kiosk every time somebody uses it.
Do they
There's
have somebody standing right next to the kiosk just
no,
wiping?
no, they're actually walking in the rows of the machine, because keep
Oh,
in
okay.
mind, you're not supposed to have anybody that close to you like that.
Right.
So they'll clean it, you step up and use it. But
Mhm.
also, smartphones are the way to go with putting your boarding pass on your smartphone, doing
Mhm.
any pre-check-ins. I know a lot of people want to be cheap and not pay for the upgrade or the
Right.
business. Some airlines have where you pay an extra $25, you can do business check-in. Well, guess what? That allows you to get on that plane first if it's an unassigned seat plane. See what
Right.
I'm saying? So that
Mhm.
allows you to get on that plane first. Yes.
Have they cut back on the process? So you still have to go in, show your passport or your ID, take your shoes off. Is all of that still the same?
Going through TSA is pretty much still the same. At Chicago Midway Airport, they've done a beautiful job of expanding TSA like you would not believe. It's roomy, airy, it's great. TSA, they do the social distancing and spacing. You do
Oh,
have to,
how was that? Do they
well,
have the feet on while you're standing in line?
yes. They tell people to stand back, stand here, don't move, stand here. They put an extra person between you putting your things on that belt and you going through the x-ray machine. And
Okay.
then there are now two people at the end of the x-ray machine. So if you need to be patted down, if one of them needs to go check to see what the item was or whatever the case may be. And it's still the same. You have to lower your mask to be able to let them see your grill, because you have
Right.
this mask on. When I fly Aquila, everybody was laughing, but I wrap my hair up. I
Yeah.
wrap my hair up. I
Hmm.
have on these bad boys right here.
Yep.
Right. And then I'm like this.
Yes.
So, honey, I look like I'm in the Parliament Funkadelic when I'm coming
Well,
through the
who cares?
airport.
Because nobody knows who you are at that point. So I don't
No,
care how
but
crazy
but
I'm
the
like.
but the point is security needs to see who's under all of that. You get
You're
what I'm
like,
saying? Right. So security needs to see who's under all of that. Other than that, the airport was relatively empty. Something that people need to keep in mind. Most of the newsstands were closed.
oh,
Uh,
food. What about food places?
Restaurants were open,
Okay.
and the bars were open.
Oh,
uh
okay.
Now
The
once you
important
are,
things.
huh,
The important things.
the important things, because here is the clincher. Airlines are now not serving anything. The airline that I flew on, the only thing they served was ice water and a small bag, two little snacks. One was sweet, the other one was savory. And
Hmm.
all they serve is a cup of ice water. And you cannot bring your own liquor on board. They now make that in their announcements. And they also say that if you detect any suspicious activity of a fellow passenger, please notify your flight crew member.
I can't bring my daughter on no plane. She'll be snitching on everybody. She's like, excuse me, excuse me. So what about the boarding area? Do they make you sit
Yes.
chairs apart? Do they X them off, or how do you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
In the boarding area of both airports, there were stickers on the seat saying, please do not sit here. Please do not sit here. They had seats in various configurations. So if you were traveling with 5 people, there were 5 seats. If you were traveling with 2 people. So no, it was plenty of space and distance and all of that. As you guys all know, Southwest Airlines is who I flew, and shout out to them. I'll talk about them in just a little bit. They Southwest used to do the cattle call for everybody to get on,
Right.
and now they don't do the cattle call like that. And
Yeah.
they allow 30 minutes for boarding. Southwest used to only do 20 minutes because they would turn the planes around really quickly. Now they've got to allow for spacing and different crews and everything.
Okay, so when you're on the plane, are you a person who's going to open the air that's circulating, or what do you want
Ah,
to do? Do you
ah,
keep that closed or do you keep it open during
okay.
these?
So I'll explain that to you too. So once on board the plane, the first thing that I noticed is that the air on the aircraft is amazingly clean. Keep in mind, being a former flight attendant, I remember I can tell you about smelling jet fuel. I
Right.
could smell if people were eating something. People got so lax that they would take the shoes off,
Yeah.
feet stinking,
Oh, yeah.
just all kind of people would change baby diapers. So back in the day when I was a flight attendant, you could smell that stuff. You could smell it and all that. The air was just crisp and clean on the plane. Here's the
Mhm.
deal. Most people would get on and open the air vents. Believe it or not, I opened it briefly and the
Mhm.
air was so cold coming out of the air vent that I had to close it back up. So that's
Right.
how pure that air is. But no, the air quality was just amazing on that plane. It was I could not smell anything, and if anybody was eating anything, you could not smell it at all. The guy sitting, in front of me, I could smell his cologne more than I could smell anything else. But no, other than that, it was wonderful. Now here are some changes that people would be surprised about. No liquor sales on flights anymore.
No
So
liquor.
so here's the deal. Think about the guy who works in catering that would bring the catering stuff for the truck or for the aircraft.
Oh, yeah, the trickle down. Okay.
The trickle down. If the
Mhm.
airline had meals, no meals anymore. So whoever works for that catering company or that in-flight meal service, they're out of work right now. So it has a horrible trickle down effect. And then the flight attendants are not allowed to sit next to each other on the jump seats. If
Okay.
it's a two-person jump seat, they cannot sit next to each other. So a flight attendant has got to sit in the first row of seats on the aircraft.
Well, speaking of flight attendants, what is the new message at the beginning where they're, seatbelts? Is there, or do they add COVID messages, or what's the new spiel?
The new spiel is that you are to wear your mask at all times. The only time that you're not to wear your mask is when you're eating and drinking. They ask that you please remain seated if you do not have to get up. And, the lavatory rules of do not stand in line for the lavatory, that type of thing. And that's it. And what I found strange was when they did say, any suspicious, other passenger, so I don't know, people do all kind of
You're talking
weird
to
things
people
now.
around you that
Right, right. Oh no, but other than that, that was it. That was it. And they hand out that cup of water, they hand out that little dry
are.
snack, and then they go sit down and read a book. So they know, it's not,
Okay.
you know, it's interesting. And what really made my trip special is being someone who comes from that industry and just wanting to know how my fellow brother and sister of the hospitality industry is surviving through all of this. So there we go. All right. So what's your next round?
What about the what are those called? The people who drive the pilot. The pilots, were they out greeting like they do sometimes, or did everybody just stay as far apart as they possibly could?
Pilots were in the cockpit. You did
Yeah.
not see the opening of the cockpit door like that. It was closed. The pilots were very complimentary. Like we really appreciate you all doing this. We thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's an honor and a pleasure to have you. So that type of thing. And no,
Right.
neither flight was full. Matter of fact, my return flight home, they had to ask some people to get up and go to the back of the plane to balance the weight out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were like, you can have a whole row, you can have so most people enjoyed an entire row to themselves, flying back.
All right. So when you got to Florida, tell me the
Hmm.
first thing that you saw in Florida's airport. Was it crowded or no? You said
No, no, no.
so
It was not crowded. It was empty. Yeah, Janice Knox said she hears no magazines. Yes, no Air Mall magazines, none of the airline magazines. So imagine all the travel writers who are out of business. How many people have bought things from that Sky Mall magazine? I know I have. I love that magazine.
where
Right. That
did who curates those magazines?
girl, like who finds all that stuff in the
Right. That's what
magazines?
I've
Right.
been
You
taking
yeah,
pictures.
you like
I'm taking,
I'm like, how come I didn't think of this? How come so yes, yes. So the arriving airport still, everything. A lot of restaurants and places in the airport were closed. When we got outside for our ride share, they had enough social distance where you stood away. Here's another thing: when you do use the ride shares, make sure your drivers have on their masks. You know, they do all the right rules. But secondly, always crack the window when you're in a ride share. Always.
Okay.
That allows fresh air to come in. That's one of my rules of thumb, is to always crack the window when you're in a ride share.
Because I've seen when I'm in my ride share, when they pull off, they pull their mask down. So they just circulating that air in their tight car. So that's a good point of roll the windows down when you get in there, because they just pulled their
Right.
mask up when you got in. So yeah, that's
Right.
great.
Right. Crack those damn windows. So if they don't have a mask on, or you feel as if they didn't pull the mask up or whatever, crack the window, get that air to circulating, and get that air out of there. All right. So there we go. All
So
right.
tell me about the accommodations there, though. What was it like?
All right. So accommodations was something that I was really curious about, and the accommodations were amazing. The place where I stayed was a private property, but they kept calling to make sure we were coming. Even though a
Like, are we
deposit had been put
running this
down,
weekend?
right? No, even though a deposit had been put down, even
Right.
though they wanted to make sure we were still coming, and I'm gonna tell you why. Believe it or not, we were probably one of maybe 4 or 5 guests on the entire property. And
How
we're
big was the
talking about,
property?
at least 200 rooms, 200
What?
ocean view rooms. Yes, at least 200 rooms. Yeah,
How many
175.
staff did they have? Did they have staff to accommodate you?
Well, that was part of the reason why they would call and
Oh,
ask, "Are you still coming?" And the thing was, is where we were staying, it had its own kitchen, it had its own all of that.
okay.
We just needed the space and the ocean view. And the room was immaculate. But my crew and I, we went in and cleaned. Everybody, whoever is the bathroom person, get in there and clean that bathroom. Whoever is the kitchen person. So we did our own cleaning. And that's what I want to tell everybody is, listen, you guys joke, but I carry in my bag all the time things that are necessary, that's needed. For these wipes, all you have to do is carry something like this. You can wipe down things.
Mhm.
I carry, when you can find things like this, little cans of disinfectant. This helps. You also want to carry clean cloth towels, cotton towels. You can buy these at Walmart, anywhere, just clean white towels. And what we do is anything that is of 4 ounces, you can carry it on the plane.
Right.
This is disinfectant.
Okay.
And carry rubber gloves. And so, no. So even though the room was immaculate, look, the housekeeper had even dumped the ice out and started new ice. We dumped that out and went and bought a bag of ice. Right. So no.
So you still let the housekeeper come in? Because I don't
No.
like
Okay.
coming in while I'm at a hotel.
So here's the rule now, due to COVID. Once you check in, the housekeeper will not return back to your room at all.
Okay.
Anything that you need during your stay, you call, let them know, and they will put it outside your door in a bag for you, and you get it then. But there's no housekeeping coming in every day. There's
Right.
no any of that. Once you are in the room is hermetically sealed. Once you're in the room, nobody comes in the room until after you have checked out the room.
That's smart.
Right. Even towels, anything that you need, they will leave it outside your door.
So Florida, are they on a tier 3 like we are? They're not locked down as much as we are. So how did you feel? Were you comfortable there, or what did you feel like?
I was very comfortable the entire trip. Just so people are clear and they understand, I did quite a bit of research before even making this trip, just to make sure my health, make sure what the situation was like there. Most of the people who I talked to said to me that Florida, especially that A1A coast, We're talking about Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and South Beach.
Right.
They,
Right.
they are used to welcoming people from all over the world. So they
Mhm.
have, great accommodations. They have ADA accommodations. They do what's necessary to welcome guests. Um, Here's the deal: you eat outside there.
Right.
Not one place did I eat inside the entire time I was there, and
What
it
was the
made it
weather like
great.
during the time? Is it 60 and 70?
80,
Oh,
80,
okay.
80. Yeah,
Welcome
it was.
to
Yeah,
Miami.
absolutely, absolutely. It was some rain, but in Miami or in South Florida, it only rains a little while. It does not rain forever, and it's the end of hurricane season. But
Right.
something that I want to remind everyone that even here in Illinois or wherever you go, if you do go to a restaurant and do not take your own utensils, that's something you can think about. You can ask for plastic utensils, pre-wrapped, because that's one thing they did ask in Miami. Would you like stainless steel or would you like pre-wrapped utensils? And if you do choose to use the stainless steel, what I recommend is everybody get them some alcohol wipes. These alcohol wipes, anybody who's diabetic or take any type of shots, Botox or
Right.
whatever the case may be, these alcohol wipes are what you can use. And you take these and you wipe down your silverware with them. And that'll kill the bacteria on your silverware. And
Right.
it'll, anything else that you touch, you can wipe the cup down, you can wipe the silverware down, and that way you're staying germ and bacteria free.
So you thought of, with all that research, I can see that you were well prepared. You had everything in order to anticipate anything. And how are you feeling now?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Hmm.
Test,
Hmm.
quarantine, rode the plane, and repeat again. And
Right.
here's the deal: I spent 14 days there. So my quarantine was there. Nothing that I did was anything extra other than going to get something to eat,
Right.
going to a grocery store, you know what I'm saying? I was not in any clubs like that. Anywhere that I went, it was outdoors and it was no people. I did happy hour for most of my meals. And who, places like that are sexy. They come out late at night. I was back home by 9 o'clock every night.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was
So
good.
I'm kind of jealous of that experience and nervous about that experience. So I will see. I just don't know what the travel world's going to look like. Do you think that we're ever going to be back to where we were with regards to travel? I know we don't think that we're going to be back after COVID, but when do you think that we're going to get back to feeling comfortable? Everybody feeling comfortable traveling.
Well, here's the deal.
Do you think we're
Yeah.
going to get lazy again and not be as cautious with germs? Where are we going to go with this germ aspect?
Akila, the germ thing is now embedded in us. A
Okay.
lot of people would laugh and talk about people who are germaphobes. I've been a germaphobe for many years.
Hmm.
And now everybody at some particular point has become a germaphobe as far as wearing the mask, wash your hands, follow the rules, doing the right things. I think that the masks are going to be around for a while. I just saw today where over in China or Tokyo or somewhere, they were making masks out of genuine pearls and diamonds. And just in time for Christmas, you could buy somebody a diamond mask. And, so I don't think this is going
People be like,
anywhere.
how can I waste my money? How can I waste my money? I
I
don't
know.
know.
I know. Let me buy a diamond mask for you, my love. So no, I don't think this is going anywhere anytime soon. I think, but I do want to see the travel industry get back on its feet. I
Yes.
really do. Everybody was just so nice. Everybody took all type of precautionary measures. Everywhere you went was hand sanitizers. I didn't see people walking around without their mask on. I think sunshine and being able to do a few more things would make people behave a little bit better anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Yeah.
feel like we're on lockdown or we're being restricted.
Okay. Okay. So I'm glad that you got to celebrate your birthday for half of November. I see.
Yeah,
Must be
yeah.
nice to be able to just get up and go somewhere for 14 days.
Yeah, well,
And
honey,
so,
I was quarantining. I was
oh,
quarantining.
oh, okay. You was
Yeah,
following the rule.
I was
Okay.
quarantining. I was quarantining. Look, I was quarantining.
I
Right.
here for 14 days. I
I
have
had I
to.
had to stay here for 14 days. I was quarantining. And now I'll be stuck in the house to December, November. Did you hear what day
So
I
what
said?
type of accommodations are you doing now? Do you just get food delivered and everything like that? How are you? What's a quarantine for you?
Well, here I cook. I cook. I fix me whatever. I everything I need is here. Coffee, whatever I want to drink, and I have so many things to do and so much to do and meetings. I just was I've been put on another advisory council board, and so yeah, no. So I've been really busy, and really the beautiful part about this trip was everybody who was with me all had something that they needed to cry about. I wanted to wake up on my birthday in the presence of God, and I was felt that on the ocean, laying in the sun was the best place.
Oh, yeah, speaking right to him,
That's right.
directly to him.
That's right. People like Art, you look amazing, and all. Yeah, that's because I communed with God on this trip, and this trip had a purpose. And so, I get it. I get it. But honey, this COVID fatigue is a hot ass mess. It really
Yeah.
is.
I
Yeah.
asked my daughter yesterday, I said, how long? When was the last time we left the house? She was like, I don't know, mommy.
Right. 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 It's
I don't
horrible.
even remember.
That's horrible. Horrible. You get what I'm saying?
Just to
Right.
go back on the porch, we get everything delivered. Like, I mean, I was thinking about getting a new car. I was like, what's the point? Let's just wait till the like maybe April or May to get a new car. It's just going to sit outside. But we literally were trying to figure out when was the last time we left the house. And
Okay.
that's a
So
blessing, Art. That's a blessing because I don't have to work. I'm blessed that my job allows me to work remotely. So I'm not laughing at that being stuck in the house because I'm blessed to be able to have that, to have a safe home, to have a house that I like. Could you imagine if you didn't like your home or you didn't like the people that was with you? Those
right.
different types of things. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. Well, Akila, I do want to have this conversation with you because you just said something that we old schoolers we I just had this conversation with a couple of people last week. You
Sure.
said you've had everything delivered.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't do it. I have to go to the store and I have to touch my produce. I have to
Well, I've
touch
been
my
getting back
bread.
frozen produce. I don't trust people getting my greens and everything like that. So I have been getting frozen vegetables and things. I've made those accommodations because of all the hiccups that I had initially. And I had
Okay.
stopped for like 3 months because when the pandemic happened, they wasn't finding food. I would send a list of 20 things. They would get two, but I'm still being charged this delivery fee. So I just got back on delivery.
Okay. So now what all do you have them to deliver? Because I'm telling you, a lot of people who are watching this tonight, especially my friends, we kind of because I get the toilet paper, that type of thing, but what all do you have them to deliver to you?
So all of my snacks. So because my daughter, like her teacher, look, this is the setup, Art. Because they'll be on break and the teacher will say, "Go get a snack." I said, "Teacher, how do you know we don't have snacks up in this house?"
Right.
So so we have plenty of snacks in this house. I get the same thing. I get chicken breast, then I get chicken wings and pork chops. So I get the same meat every single time, and it's at Mariano's. So I'm comfortable with it. I know what Mariano's produce looks like because I used to be there pretty much every other day.
Yes,
And
you are.
yeah, occasionally I'll get some salmon from the fresh market because I know that they're picking, the person's picking it up. But otherwise, I don't have any like processed meals or anything like that. I have been cooking more, but I have the same grocery list every single week, and I don't do a lot of variety because I'm a boring cook. I will, try new recipes every once in a while. But when you have a toddler in the house, they're not. Their palates are like, this is what I like and this is all I'm going to eat. So I'm done with.
Okay.
I used to be cooking elaborate meals like, yes, we're going to try this new beef that I tried, baby. And she was like, I'm not impressed, mommy, and I don't want this. So I was
Oh
wasting
no. Look.
snacks, meat, and then a lot of frozen vegetables. And I've been making a lot of crock pot things as well.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Because I just wondered. I'm telling you, I've been having this debate about do I let somebody just bring me my things when I'm the person? And see, here's another thing. I
They
have
bring you
to.
alcohol too, Art.
I know they do. I look for expiration dates that are further out. So
But
if
I
I
put
buy
those
milk,
notes. I say that on the
oh,
notes. On the
okay,
notes, I say, please find. I said for my bread. I said, please go to the back where they keep the new bread. So he understood that. I was like, please get a later expiration date. So you can put notes in there and you
got
can communicate with the person when they're shopping. They're sending you text messages as they're shopping and you can see what is shopped. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. See, that's a whole nother show we need to have one night. Okay. All right. Very good. Well, we've learned a lot this evening. Welcome
I
to
see a
the
lot of people going to Florida soon, probably.
yeah, I'm telling you, up the A1A was just incredible. Each one of the cities has a different flavor and vibe. They had just all kind. And here's another thing: if you're trying to get pictures in front of tourist attractions, there's nobody there. There's nobody. There. We went
Are
on.
the amusement parks open? Is
Well,
Disney
I'm
World?
not talking about so much like amusement parks as much as in Miami on South Beach, Ocean
Right,
Drive is where everybody wants to be. And
right.
a lot of the big name places that have been on Ocean Drive that are tourist attractions, they're not there anymore. They've gone out of business.
Oh,
So,
okay.
like in front of the Versace mansion, everybody wants to get a picture.
Yeah,
And when it's busy, you can't do that. It's so
right.
many
By
people. But
yourself.
now,
Yeah.
right now with the pandemic, you can do that. And then here's what I want to recommend to everybody: invest in a good selfie stick. Invest in a good selfie stick. Every picture that I took was with a selfie stick, and
Right.
this has a remote to it and everything. You can do group pictures with people, get everybody in
Mhm,
there,
mhm.
so invest in a good selfie stick. Don't be telling people, here, take my phone and take a picture. No, a good selfie stick is what the investment is. Yes,
That's smart. With the remote too. That I
with
have
the
one of those
remote.
remotes. And they were
Oh,
like, "How did you get that picture? Who took that picture?" I said, "I did."
and another thing, if you guys are doing a girls' trip, a guys' trip, or whatever the case may be, make sure you get reusable glasses that are your glass the entire trip. So if you in the house with a bunch of people, whatever, and I know you guys are washing dishes or whatever, but get
Right.
you a glass that is your glass. You wash it, keep it clean, do whatever the necessary, and then this is your own sipping cup. And keep straws on you, whether it's a metal straw, plastic, or paper straw is what we're using now to be politically correct. But do that. Keep straws on you. That's all you have to do is keep plenty of straws.
So it seems like thinking ahead is just a major thing. Thinking
Yep.
ahead, being considerate of those who are around you, and
Yep.
following the rules that have been presented. I know initially the rules were changing a lot, and rules. I mean, even I think today CDC said that the quarantine times are going to change, or yeah,
Right.
so
Right.
they're varying those even. So that's what science is, though. Science is trying to get an understanding of the unknown, and because
Right.
this is an unknown virus, you're going to get different information. People are trying to, or the leader, the present leader, tries to make it seem like scientists don't know what they're doing, but they are responding to their recent discovery and they're giving it to the public as soon as they possibly can. They're not
Yes.
waiting what they had to do before. What, with research, we have to wait years at a time before we can bring it to the public. They were bringing everything that they knew to the public so that they could be so that we could be well versed. So
Right.
yes.
Well,
Mhm.
one of the things, and this is what I tell people all the time, even if you go to a touristy place, much like where I went, here's the deal. You see a group of young people and they standing around, they may have mask on, they may not have a mask on. What do? Take your ass and turn
Yeah.
around, go a different direction, walk a different way. Matter of
Don't be
fact,
confrontational. Don't.
don't be, well, not even that, right? Not even that. If you just see it, then
Right.
you divert from it. You know what I'm
Oh, I do
saying?
it at the grocery. When I was at the grocery
Right,
store, the times that I would go, I would let them know, Anaya, we're going to turn around because they don't have a mask on. So it was
right, right. Yes, yes. That's all you have to do. You don't have to put yourself. If we didn't even get a chance to talk about how shopping is done now. They now have where you can make a reservation to go shop at your favorite high end store.
okay. That's
So
smart.
let's say you balling this year and you want to spend money at Gucci or Louis Vuitton or whatever the case may be. They have an app now where you make an appointment to go shop at whatever store it is that is doing this. You tell
Hmm.
them how many people are in your party, and just like a dinner reservation,
Right.
everybody has got to be there. You go in and they tell you you have 90 minutes or whatever it is to shop in the store, and
Hmm.
only so many people are shopping in the store. Same way with the Santa Claus experience this year. That's
Hmm.
different. That's different.
Yeah, I wonder if are you going to be able to sit on Santa Claus' lap this year?
Some places are banning people being able to sit on Santa Claus lap. Some places have put a plexiglass shield and made it look like a frame. And Santa Claus is, look, girl, he's sitting back here. Wait, the shield is here, and the little kid is here. And so, right, right. But now, where I was in Aventura Mall in Florida, I love what they did. They took a empty store space and created what was called a selfie station, and it had like 10 different type of backgrounds where you and your family, you paid, and just you and
Yeah,
your party went in, and they helped you to set up. They had beautiful backlights, everything, and you did selfies for your holiday picture.
they have to make that money up. That's a good pivot. That's what everybody's learning how to do during this season is how to pivot. And I
Right.
can't imagine if you lost your job because they've been following up with people who lost their job at the beginning of the pandemic and to see how they're doing now. There's been a lot of, people being very resourceful. We've seen these long lines. Tyler Perry had people in line for hours trying to get food. We do not understand this food insecurity that so many people, because I'm funny acting. I was looking at the cars that were in line for the food, right? There
Girl,
were
you
luxury
like me.
cars.
Yes, you like me. Yes, yes, yes. You are right.
This is
Yes.
a luxury car, and you're in line for finding food. It's across all. I think it's across all demographics.
It is. It is. This is I tell people, think about the bellman at the front of the hotel who would help you with your bags. Let's think about the pool boy or whoever, like the resort where I was staying at, their bar was not open because they couldn't open it. A lot of things have really scaled back. So, I mean, you've got to look at, how to really make this work for people who have lost their jobs. Right.
Right.
The one gentleman where I was staying, he was the bellman, the janitor. Don't be surprised if you see the general manager of a hotel cleaning a bathroom. It's not uncommon. I've seen
Got
it.
to get
I've
it
seen it
done.
with my own eyes. Yes.
And
Oh,
then we
oh,
don't have any support. So yeah, other countries are giving their people thousands of dollars a month to help them out. I just don't understand how people have survived if they lost their job at the beginning.
yes. All right. Well, for those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. The beautiful young lady next to me in pink is Akila Easter. She is in lifestyle and etiquette expert, and she's amazing. She's also a scientist. She got all into a science groove. That was so funny. I was like, Akila, come on, tell them, baby. I just love when she's here with me. Tonight, we're talking about the fact that millions of people have decided to travel this Thanksgiving season. Even though the COVID numbers are rising, we're not encouraging people to go out here and act a fool, do the wrong things. I just did a travel trip so that I could be able to talk about the experience and to see what I can do to help stimulate the travel economy, because Aquila is going to have to get back to normal eventually, but there's still going to be millions of people afraid to just do anything, Did I lose you? Oh, oh, your mic is muted. Unmute your
Sorry,
mic, baby.
sorry.
Right.
I thought we
That's
out
all
here.
right.
I was like, please
That's
don't
all
say anything embarrassing to me, girl.
Oh, you so funny. You so funny. I was
I
like,
was
what
in that
happened?
mode.
I was like, this is a great show. That's all right.
But
That's all
I
right.
said
That's all right.
people
So you were saying
know
what
what
now?
our new normal is going to be. So I'm just wondering.
Right.
I'm just thinking, 3 years down the road, what are we going to be looking like? So we need to take a little timestamp right here in this cast right now and think, where are we going to be in 3 years from today?
Yes, yes. And look, will we ever be in environments that will be full environments ever again? I don't know. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, mega churches where thousands of people are sitting in church together and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I think we probably will go back to normal, and then we'll have another something that will cause us. I don't know. Human behavior is fascinating. So
It really is. It really is. It is. Well, with that being said, Akila is now going to turn into our professor. As I said before, she's a lifestyle and etiquette expert. And so now she's going to talk to us about these dreaded Zoom calls. Akila, the one thing I'm going to tell you, my love, is that some people can do the Zoom calls with no problems, and other people is all hell that break loose on them Zoom calls. So, the floor is all yours, my dear, and I'm ready to hear what you have to tell us about how to have this perfect Zoom Thanksgiving.
So the thing is, make sure you practice ahead of time. I would have somebody else log into the Zoom with you and play around with the features. You can ask that person when you log in. There's lots of different tools that you can share your screen. You can do thumbs up. You can now do little face things like we were talking about a little bit earlier. So I would do a test call. So tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So in the morning, have one of your relatives and do a test call so that you can get your entire family on it. Be aware that there are time restrictions. My daughter's making all these noises.
That's
There
all
are
right. That's all right. We used to that.
there are time restrictions. So some accounts can only allow for 40 minutes. If you get like a premium account, you have unlimited. And then there's also limited to the amount of people that you can have depending on the account that you have as well. I don't think any of us are going to have 100 people on, so I think you're okay with that. But you want to be able to make sure that you have one or two people, probably people from the younger generation, who are going to control the Zoom. They're called co-hosts. So when you have co-hosts, that means those people can control the Zoom from their computer, and those are the ones who are in control. So when you do your Zoom, you need to, one, set up a meeting. And the way that you set up a meeting, it's just like any other reservation. You set the date, you set the time. I do waiting room because I don't want people just popping up on me. So I do what's called a waiting room. So I can see, I'm just like the doorman, like, there is no guest list tonight, but there is guest list tonight. So that's what I make sure that I can check who's coming in. Then you don't have any of those Zoom bombs. I'm sure everybody has heard of those where this is why when I teach, I still like my students are like, Professor Easter, we are like in the last couple weeks of the semester. Why do you still have a waiting room? Because y'all ain't going to have no racist remarks and no craziness in my room. So so that's why I make sure I'm protecting y'all. So that's why I do a waiting room. And I wouldn't do a passcode because family members don't like to read too much. They don't like to do too much. They just want to click one button and they can get in. Okay. Don't put a passcode on there. And there's an option when you're setting up the menu to do that. And then everything else should be pretty straightforward. You can see everybody on the screen. There's different views where you can see everybody, or you can just see one person at a time. And I am suggesting that people they do this with their family so that they can encourage family members to stay out of your house. Stay out of your house, because you can do one Thanksgiving with when you're trying to save everybody in your house. Because when one person goes, you are probably, think about all the people that you've encountered. If you stopped to get gas, if you went to the grocery store that morning, you made a quick stop, you are encountering multiple people. Then you are bringing it into one of your family members' homes. This is why Zoom is just like the best alternative for this year.
It really is. It truly, truly is. We want to remind everyone that if you don't have a computer, a laptop, a smartphone, you can always dial in on a phone number. They would just hear your voice. You would not be able to see everybody. So if you do have family members that may have that flip phone or still that rotary dial phone, whatever the case may be, make sure you give them the phone number so that they're able to call in, and whoever that is controlling the meeting can mute people when need to be muted.
Yes. And that is a major thing, because when two people are trying to talk, that it kind of Zoom kind of cancels people out, so you start to miss the whole conversation. So using that mute button, as you saw that I used a couple minutes ago, using that mute button is very important. And the person, like Art said, who's in control, they can actually turn the screen off. So please don't be walking around while somebody's trying to focus and listen to everybody in the family. Don't take it to the bathroom. We heard about all those stories initially. Just try to be focused. Don't be eating a big over, like a beverage is the best thing that you can have while you're on a Zoom with a family member. Unless you guys want to share your Thanksgiving meal together, but it'll probably be zoomed out, and I, pun intended, but it'll be zoomed out with respect to that, because you're probably just looking at maybe 4 or 5 people. So yeah. There's always those different options, and dial in is definitely, I dial in sometimes from my phone because I get a weird internet connection. So yes.
So Akila, things that we necessarily should not talk about on this Zoom call tomorrow night. We should remember our deceased loved ones. We should, remember whoever might be locked up, incarcerated. But what should we not? Because honey, somebody gonna say something foolish.
Oh, because it's just anybody. Well, you can disable that too. I would suggest disabling the record button, because anybody can press record and record this whole conversation. So don't talk about anybody's personal issues while y'all are on Zoom. Y'all do that in text. And please note that the chat, even if you send a private chat in Zoom, whoever hosted the meeting, when they end that meeting, they get a transcript of that. So we were at work. Hey, Cecily, I just saw Cecily.
I love her so much. Akila, oh my God.
We had church last night, Art.
Honey,
we had church.
Are you kidding me? I cannot wait for her to come back. The 3 of us need to do a show together. Well, the 4 of us, because Kay Renee loves her too. So we'll have to. Yes. All right. So what were you saying? We love Cecily.
That chat transcript goes to the person who started the meeting. So if you trying to private cousin Shirley and send her a message like, girl, do you see what Auntie has on? That message goes back to the person who has it when they save or end the call. So please be aware of that. We got in trouble at work about that, where they had to send a memo out saying, please be mindful that chat is documented and recorded while y'all talking about each other in private chat. It is not private. So be aware of that.
Right. Yes. Please be aware of that. Again, remember your loved ones who have gone on. Remember those that may not be able to be there. Try to give each family time to talk and recap things that have gone on this year. Try to focus more on the positive. We know it's all been bad for everybody. So try to keep the conversation upbeat, lighthearted, that type of thing.
Talk about our gout and every issue that we have. Let's try to keep it happy. Everybody wants, because then you're going to start feeling bad for Auntie and things like that. I would save the long-winded family members for the end of the conversation, so you can let them talk, but kind of give guidelines though first. Be like, hey, you guys, we just want to talk for 1 minute. Just try to give a guideline. 1 minute in Black folks is not real, but
baby,
try to give them some guidelines, and you can. Like, hey, it's been 1 minute. Hey, it's been 1 minute.
Yes. Now, Akila, you said there are some games and things that we can do tomorrow night on these Zoom calls. What are some of the suggestions?
So can I tell you that my 5-year-old taught me how to play games on Zoom? She plays with her Gigi. Her Gigi lives in Arkansas. So she calls her Gigi. She has a whiteboard. That's why we have it. She has a whiteboard. So she does tic-tac-toe with her Gigi. And it's so cute. We figured out a way to do it. You can do charades. They also play charades with each other. But with her tic-tac-toe, just very simple. If you have little kids, you just number the grids, Art.
Oh.
Gigi can say, put an X where there is 3. And then Gigi will put an X. Anaya will do that for her.
Oh.
So it's a quick game. You can do charades. You can draw on here. You can play chess, but one person would just be in control of the table, or you can share an electronic chess through Zoom because you can share your screen with everybody. So there's many different things that you can do to be able to feel like family is present.
I love it. I really, really do. We want to remind everyone, no matter what religion you are, start off by saying a prayer and saying grace. That's what Watika just said for us to remind everybody to do that as well too. Make sure you find somebody that knows how to pray. A lot of folks just, girl, look, a hot mess.
The
A
worst.
hot mess.
And can I say, can we please? I know Thanksgiving. If we think about the history of Thanksgiving, please acknowledge the indigenous people. During this time, we are on their land. Those different types of things. I do that type of acknowledgement as well, because I think we kind of miss, the history of Thanksgiving and forget about that. But just be aware of what really happened during that historical time. Not to bring us down, but yeah,
That's all right. That's all right. Well, another thing is share some family history. Talk about the family history. Everybody's trying to do all these DNA searches and trying to figure out where they're from and all of that. Why are you laughing? Did you do it, Akila? Did it work?
Finding out that somebody's not your father, like I said, not me.
Right.
I think somebody just said that, where these DNA tests are showing, all the family secrets. So please be aware of the consequences of those different things.
Yes. That is the truth. Absolutely. I'm trying to think, what else do we want to remind people to do on these Zoom calls?
I like to share recipes via Zoom. So I like to cook with somebody. If you have time tonight, you can get the different groceries in the morning or something like that, but you can send over a recipe. Like I'm doing a pound cake tomorrow with my mom. So we just like to do this together, just as something of grandma, granddaughter, and then mommy. And then we all get to do this together, just to say that we cook something together during the holiday. So sharing recipes. And those are the kind of things, you remember when we started off, I said, I feel like I'm a little traditional, right? So I think when I thought of growing up, when I got older, I had always envisioned my mom, who's retiring soon. I envisioned her say, "Oh, this is the recipe that I have for the collard greens. Here is the fried chicken recipe." Passing those things down.
Right. Yes.
I asked her, she's like, "I don't write recipes down. It's all
No, you have a mom like my mom was when she was alive, that they don't write all that. They just know what to do and how to make it.
Right, exactly.
And that's why you've got to get past only having 4 spices in your cabinet, Missy.
Stop bringing up the history of my past right now.
You got to have more than 4 spices in your day.
They are essential.
Seasoned salt, lemon, pepper, and lemon pepper. Right, girl. And pepper.
And garlic powder.
I got to come over there and help you get your spice cabinet right. I got to help you.
Whatever.
Yeah, look, once this is over, I got to come help you get that spice cabinet back. I swear for God, you are a hot mess, child. You really are. Hey, Deon Nicole Smith. I got to call her tomorrow and check on her. But all right, so what else we need to know about Zoom? And then you going to be on TV tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I'll be on Fox 32. I think this is like my 5th year. Every year on Thanksgiving, I come with some Thanksgiving etiquette, but this year it's new. So we're going to talk about some COVID etiquette, because I know there's going to be people. I'm going to talk from both sides. First, encourage people not to have family over, but I know some people are just going to still have family over. So I'm going to give some tips regarding that. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm excited. What time is that tomorrow?
8:30 a.m. Fox 32. Please tune in, you guys. The more pings that I get, the more times they invite me back.
I know. We love you. 8:30 a.m. Fox 32 News, Chicago. Make sure you guys tune in and watch my girl tomorrow. She gonna do the doggone thing. That's what we love about a gone girl. Do the doggone thing.
Zoom. So this is my first time doing a Zoom. Just like we're doing setup here, I just don't know how they set it up on live, so I'm interested to see how this goes. So
make sure you have a ring light, darling, honey. These ring lights have made a difference in my world. Yeah, look. Oh, is that all, baby? No, you better get the induction. Honey, look.
I'm not ready, Art. I'm not ready.
People thinking all this glow is Florida, honey. This glow is a little bit of lights as well, too, baby. Look, these ring lights are the answer. And wait till I finish, get through putting lights in the back of me in this studio. Look, are you kidding me? I'm gonna be
You are.
angelic. I'm gonna
See,
be angelic when no, are you kidding me? No, so yeah, make sure you invest. But you look great. You do. You look really, really
oh,
good.
thank you. I appreciate that.
So, what is holiday shopping gonna look like for you? Are you the person that likes to go out to the malls and do the holiday shopping? Oh, I
I'm
forgot.
never
I order everything.
yeah. Because I think at a certain age, your clothes, your brands of clothes, what I mean. Your size. Well, I don't know during COVID because it's been crazy during COVID. I'm like, what's wrong with these jeans? It's the jeans' fault. It's not it's the jeans' fault.
These
But
damn
yeah,
cheap jeans, these cheap jeans. Yeah.
what is going on? Did they shrink? What's wrong with them? But yeah, I like to order everything. I think during the holiday season, I like the idea of sending gifts or sending like Uber Uber Eats to people, like sending coffee in the morning. We met at Starbucks, right?
That's
So
right.
sending a Starbucks to somebody and just letting them know, hey, check outside your door. I sent you a little gift. I was thinking about you. So those little
Oh,
types of generosity, those little small things of generosity are some things that I'm looking for during the holiday season. I don't think a lot of people are going to be really stuck on the materialistic things this year. I think a lot of people are looking to save money. They're being considerate of those who are out of work. So maybe looking at GoFundMe's and things like that, supporting people who have lost their jobs from the restaurant industry. Like you said, you were supporting the travel industry. So just considering those things around the holiday season, because you're not going to be able to wear stuff anywhere. Where are you going to go, boo? Where are you
right,
going? So
right. Where you going, boo? Right.
those around you. Yeah, I
Yes.
think that's going to be more of the holiday season this year.
Oh, and another thing that I want to remind people that if you do travel, now I'm not forcing you guys to travel. Don't tell Mayor Lloyd Lightfoot and the governor Chad Daddy said
Oh,
go
because she will come
travel.
and get you,
Baby, I
She
know she will. I was
Our
expecting her to
mom calls one of
call me.
our mayor from
Yeah, I
Arkansas. She's
know.
like, I saw your mayor again on TV. Are you okay?
Right. I know she will, but I did that so I would be able to start this whole travel writing thing again and be able to
Right.
help, spark the economy in the travel business. So
Mhm.
listen, keep change in your pocket. Don't be walking around with
Oh, yeah.
big bills. And I'm gonna tell you why. If you go to tip somebody that might be the doorman, the bellhop, the maid, or whatever the case may be, these people don't have the money like they used to, the where everybody had been tipping them all day. You might be the second person they've helped that day and they don't
Right.
have change like that. So keep
Mhm.
fives and tens and singles at your disposal so you're able to tip these people.
And when I do my holiday etiquette, I do speak of tipping. And this year, I mean, modern times has allowed us just to ask for somebody's cash app. Just ask for those little things, and you can just send a quick treat over to that person. You don't have to announce it. I like the things where I surprise people, where I don't let them know. I don't have to boast about it. I don't have to post on social media. I'm sending money out. Just these things that are just out of the kindness of your heart. Those are the little things that you can help. Or you can ask, maybe get a list and start a pool of cash app. Just get people's cash apps. Say, these people need help this season. Who wants to help? And you can just do a little post if you want to do a social media post, and then people can go straight to it.
Well,
Mhm.
speaking of helping people this holiday season, as you guys all know, I'm a huge supporter of the the Salvation Army. I almost said the wrong people. The Salvation Army. I
Mhm.
apologize. Every year, I used to be in front of Marshall Fields, and then it turned into Macy's. But because of the pandemic this year, we're unable to be kettle ringers in front of these places. People are not shopping and out like they used to be. And so, if you guys feel so behooved, I wish you really would give this holiday season to the Salvation Army. If you text the word Chat Daddy, ChatDaddy, to 51555, you can help rescue Christmas for the Salvation Army. You can make a
Wow.
donation right from your cell phone. All you have
I
to
like
do
that
is
word.
text Chat Daddy, to 51555, and you can help the American Red, not the Lord, I'm saying the wrong people again, the
Salvation
Salvation Army. So now that means I need to help the Red Cross as well too. And if not, you can always go to the website salarmychicago.org/chat daddy. salarmychicago.org/chat daddy. There you go. All right.
That
So
is a perfect way, Art. I
thank
love that.
you. Thank you,
So
honey.
remember,
Yes.
next Tuesday is Giving Tuesday. So we're
Yes.
considering every, December 1st, we're considering all of the different nonprofits. And think about, don't forget the small nonprofits too. The
Yes.
ones that are giving the girls their prom dresses, all those little things, those little smaller ones. Those are some great ones to consider as well. But
Yes.
definitely the ringers, that is a great idea of just having that quick text and it's right to them.
Yep.
Perfect.
Well, next Tuesday, December 1st, our entire show is dedicated to giving back. And so that's what we're going to do next Tuesday night. So, yes, I am looking for people to give back to. And then another thing that I want to announce is I'm looking for Black business owners. I want to help Black business owners during the month of December. If you
Yep.
are a small, independent Black business owner, you cannot be a jewelry salesperson for a company. You've got to be
Okay.
the person who creates the jewelry, designs the jewelry. I'm looking for small, independent business owners who would
Mhm.
love some exposure. I'm kind of going to do it like Oprah's favorite things. So I will have to see what your product is about, if it's durable, of quality, and you would have to be able to ship your product globally from the exposure that I want to give these people. But I do want to support independent Black business owners during the month of December.
Yes. So, a lot of people are surviving off of their skills that they develop as an entrepreneur. So that's definitely a good look. And I think that's another area of focus that we can do during the holiday season when you're going back to what you're saying with respect to how are we shopping this season.
Mhm.
Focus on particular types of companies that you want to work with and then put all your energy towards that. That's a great option.
Very good. Well, darling, with all that being said, please tell people how they can find you, follow you. And Akila, I would love to get a closing message of comfort and joy from you for this, yes, for this Thanksgiving season, darling. For
I feel
this
like that
thank
bad prayer person now. Now I'm like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
something bad.
Like dear Lord God, God, Lord Jesus, Lord, help us, Lord. Yes,
Too
yes.
much pressure.
Right. Too much pressure, Lord. I'm going, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you. Yeah.
You guys can reach me on all social media with Akila CT. So I know my name is unique. It's AKILAHSITI. That is my first and middle name. .com, and all on IG is mainly where you can communicate with me, and Facebook as well. There you see it right there, AkilaCT.com. My closing remarks are I want everybody to think of everybody else during this season. Like Art said, I am an etiquette person, and etiquette refers to a polite behavior in society. So I want us to consider those who are less fortunate than us, those I want you to do check-ins with your friends. You never know who is suffering in silence. I've been a person who has suffered in silence before, and sometimes our ego does not allow us to come out of that darkness. And I want you to think about all of those people who may be doing that suffering in silence, particularly through the holiday season. A lot of people are going through a lot right now. People who have lost their jobs, people who are trying to figure out going through rough times with their spouses or with their partners. I want us to be considerate of those people and just call a friend. Maybe each week you're calling out and reaching out to somebody that you have not heard from. And I would consider amending some of the bad things that may have happened this year. Reaching out to family members. That's what I'm going to do next week. I've been praying and meditating on this because I have a major family situation that I'm trying to remedy. And then, because sometimes you never know when that person can be gone. I know we talked about this last night. You just never know. I lost my father suddenly, so that has given me the motivation to always make sure that I tell somebody how I feel about them so I don't have any type of regrets. And that's what I would like us to focus on during the holiday season.
That was so beautiful. They gonna keep you in the prayer circle. That was good. That was right. That was spiritually, and you had been drinking wine. That was good. You're
And
right.
then
That was
the Lord put his finger to keep the
baby.
party
Look,
going.
I thought I was gonna shout. I thought you did a great job, darling. You did.
I am
Yeah.
trying to make a lot of amends, Art. I'm
I
trying to.
know, I know.
Yeah.
You and me both. You and me
Mhm.
both. Absolutely. And Akila, I hate I didn't have you on the Scorpio show because you and I have talked. Yeah, we had a
And
Scorpio
I am
show.
a true Scorpio. A
I know.
true.
Well, honey,
My
it has come.
personality, everything about me is Scorpio.
I, You know what? Me and you again. We'll have to have that conversation, just you and I, because we get it. That's how we became friends. Like, oh, I'm a Scorpio. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it. I understand it. I really do. I
that should
do.
explain everything. Yeah.
All the lunacy, all that. Yeah, I'm a Scorpio. What more do you need and want to know? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, darling, I want you and your baby girl to have a wonderful Thanksgiving. You and your family do everything that you guys need to be safe, healthy, and happy during this holiday celebration. Once again, we want to remind everyone to please wear your mask. Wearing is caring, is what my mask says. See there? Wearing is caring. Caring is wearing. Yes. Wear your mask. Wearing is caring. That's what it says. My other masks, I'm an icon. I'm a savage. I'm an icon. Classy, bougie, ratchet. You know, mute your mic again. See
You
that?
got
There
to
you
get
go.
on the body one now. So
Is it a new one she got
yeah,
going on?
body yada yada yada. That's her.
Okay. So I got to learn that over the weekend. I do.
Somebody
Make
wants
sure
to
you.
tell you hello, Art. Say
Hi, darling. Oh, look at her. Hey, how are you? Happy Thanksgiving.
thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. She's so beautiful. She is. Well, I'm gonna let you guys have mommy and daughter time. We got everybody checking in now tonight, saying what a great show. I know everybody. Oh, and Akila, she said, make sure we fully dressed on these Zoom calls.
Oh, I'm not going to
Yeah,
tell you what I
please.
got on the bottom. I wouldn't.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, no, me neither. We're Scorpio. We already
I'm
know.
not standing up tonight.
Right. I can't stand up either. I can't stand up, so I turn this camera completely off. So yeah, that's a Scorpio.
All my business.
That's
Who
a
just told
Scorpio.
all my
That's what we do. That's what we do. We Scorpios. Oh, Booker T said, "Hey, beautiful." There you go.
Hey, Booker. Where's
Yeah.
your picture, Booker?
Booker had look. Booker gonna put the eyes up there. Right. Right. Foolishness. That's all it is. All right. Well, on behalf of my co-host tonight, the amazing Akila Easter, please go visit her website. Make sure you check her out tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. on Fox 32 News Chicago. She'll be talking about coronavirus and Thanksgiving and your celebrations. I'll be back on Monday night, our last Monday of November of 2020. I'll have another great show for your viewing and listening pleasure. Do me a huge favor, you guys. Go over to my website, therealchatdaddy.com. You guys know how to do that, therealchatdaddy.com. It's easy, simple. I'm trying to pull it up here. Aha. Visit therealchatdaddy.com. Do that. All right, go over to YouTube, subscribe to The Real Chat Daddy Show, Facebook, The Real Chat Daddy Show. Don't forget, you can always donate to the Salvation Army to help rescue Christmas. I really would appreciate you guys doing that. And happy Thanksgiving from The Real Chat Daddy Show. I love you, Akila.
I love you, Art. We both
Thank
love you.
you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I love you both. You girls are just phenomenal, and I'm just so proud. Akila, I remember when your baby was in your arms. Now she running you. She gonna be driving next year. She gonna be driving.
She's the boss of this house, Art.
I know she is. I know she is.
I thought when I was grown, I would be grown, but I didn't know. She bosses me now.
I know she is a hot mess. I love you. All right, baby. Good night. Have a wonderful and happy Thanksgiving. All right, let's count this bad boy out. Good night, you guys. Be safe.
Bye, guys.